You're listening to the Daily Sales Tips podcast, and I'm your host, Scott Ingram. Today's tip comes in the form of a clip from my most recent interview on the Sales Success Stories podcast with Melissa Gaglione, who was LivePerson's top SDR until she was recently promoted to an AE role. Here she is talking about how she used video in her prospecting approach.
Again, I'm really into people. So an example would be, and I too use Vidyard. I love Vidyard. It's such a great tool when we got it, because we didn't have it in the beginning, and I was just sending regular videos in people's DMs, and it didn't look that creepy, but we were onto something. But the way that I use Vidyard, and it depends on how much time I have, right? A quick video would probably take me 15 minutes. It doesn't take too long. But using Vidyard, okay, so let me look at a prospect, right? What do they care about? What can I find? This is where the reporting skills come in. What can I find about this person? Did they lead a project somewhere? Did they write any articles? Were they on a YouTube video or anything like that? There was one guy. Oh my gosh, there is this one guy who did this podcast, and he had a really cool background. He had this lava lamp, and he spoke about it in the podcast. And I used that as an opener. I was like, I like lava lamps too, because I have one. And I used that as an opener, something that I can use that I can connect with them on, that just kind of takes it to a different level. But basically, I'll go on their LinkedIn. Maybe I'll start there. I'll get some sort of picture of them, right? It could be on LinkedIn. It could be on the company website, something, because I want them to know this is for them, right? We know this. And then I'll have a couple of tabs open where maybe I'll say, hey, I'm reaching out to you because of this. I see that, you're responsible for this. They know what they're responsible for, but spend 1 second on that, 1 second on their title. Great, you are the chief digital officer. Great, we know that. But why is that important? It's important because in this video at 1:26, you said this, and I'll press play. Or in this report, you said this, and I'll highlight it. Or in this podcast, you said this, or you did this, whatever it is about that specific person that I can show them and say, I know you are the right person, not just because of your title, but because you've either said that you needed something like LivePerson, or you've done some sort of project that leads me to believe that you are a change maker. And then I'll vibe with them on it. I'll cheer them on. I'll be like, that's great. You're so on the right path. I will encourage them to whatever it is that they do. Right? I want them to know that it's very specific. It's very much for them. There was a prospect that I very much focused on how much she wanted to focus on social change. She was a huge advocate of social change. And I really wanted to pull that because I wanted to show how we can help her not necessarily her customers, they're more members, but how we can help her members who are in poverty or who are in these challenging places, how they can connect with them for some help. And I really wanted her to know how much I cared about the same things that she cared about. And so I really dove into who she is as a person, right? And added the value of what we can provide and how that helps her with her personal mission of social change. So I really dive into the person, who they are, what they've said, what they've done, and I get so into it, but not too creepy. You don't want to be creepy, but I look at it as wow, look at you, look at what you've done. You want to do something even greater together? And I'll show them a quick sample of what we can do. I don't spend much time on it. It will be a quick web page or a quick, customer story that could be relevant. And I spend not even 10 seconds on it. It's a value mixed with a call to action towards the end. But I really want them to know hey, I'm reaching out to you specifically. This is why we got to work together in a sense. And people feel very compelled. I would say that out of all the videos that I send, I at least get an 80% response rate. It's probably higher than that. It's high. People respond to me. They like that I've taken the time to get to know them. And it's nice.
For a link to the full interview with Melissa and to connect with her on LinkedIn, just click over to DailySales.Tips/1061. Once you've clicked over there, be sure to click back here for another great sales tip. Thanks for listening.